Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Thursday, June 22, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Marriott Hotel likely to be sold for US $90 million to American investment group. DHARAMLALL rape allegation filed with DPP. JAGDEO says minister will face consequences if found guilty. LGE 2023 PPP candidates win tiebreak in BERBICE constituencies. Spanish could become a compulsory subject in school, says President Ali. US $5.1 million Good Hope and $585 million Abram Zul secondary schools commissioned. And construction of new Wismar bridge to begin by year-end. Now for the news in detail. The Guyana Marriott Hotel, which is currently 100% owned by the state, is likely to be sold to an American investment group which had proposed US $90 million, the highest bid among several companies to buy out the facility. Here is Vanu Manichan with our lead story tonight.
XLLC, an American investment group founded by Rami El Batrawi, was one of two companies that responded to NISL's invite in May to resubmit bids with a base price of US $85 million for the sale of the Marriott Hotel in Guyana. With a US $90 million bid, XLLC emerged as the top bidder following NISL's evaluation. The other bidder was Integrated Group Guyana Inc., which had proposed US $86.1 million. During a press conference on Thursday, Vice President Dr. JAGDEO announced now that the evaluation is completed, NISL has started negotiations with the top bidder.
NISL has completed that evaluation. They've ranked the firm that had a bid of $90 million as number one rank, the highest bid, and they've been given the authority to engage in negotiations with that company.
The US-based investment group was also the top bidder among the 6 bids that were initially submitted for the acquisition of the Guyana Marriott Hotel, but were rejected by the Guyana government on the grounds of being too low. The negotiations with NISL can either result in the company going ahead with the sale, or if negotiations fail, government can either retender or move on to another bidder. The Guyana Marriott Hotel, which was opened in 2015, was constructed to a tune of US $58 million. In a notice back in December 2022, NISL had announced its intention to sell the state's shares in Atlantic Hotels Incorporated, the special purpose company that fully owns the 197-room hotel, whose financing structure had depended on a casino and entertainment center to make enough money to repay up to US $30 million in debts to bank and other creditors. But those add-ons to the hotel were scrapped. Vice President JAGDEO had argued that now is the right time to sell the hotel, which is currently operating at a profit even without those add-ons. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manichan.
The fate of the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, DHARAMLALL, now rests in the hands of the Director of Public Prosecutions, who will now have to advise the police on the way forward regarding the allegation of rape that was made against the senior government official. In this Pujarambaran report, Vice President Dr. JAGDEO has affirmed that the minister would have to face the consequences if found guilty.
Police investigations into the allegation of rape against Minister of Local Government and Regional Development DHARAMLALL have been completed, and the file is now with the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. This was confirmed by the Guyana Police Force in a statement on Thursday. The Evening News understands that the DPP can deliver a decision on whether charges should be instituted against the minister as early as tomorrow. DHARAMLALL was arrested on Monday after he presented himself at the Breakdown police station in the company of his attorney Nigel Hughes, where he was told of the allegation of rape. He was later placed on $1 million station bail. Vice President Dr. JAGDEO, weighing in on these developments, made it clear that if the minister is found guilty, he will have to face the consequences.
We have no tolerance for any abuse of women or children in our midst. Secondly, that there must be a full investigation of the allegations And if the minister is found guilty, he faces all the consequences associated with that discharge.
JAGDEO, who is also General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, also highlighted that in this case, all processes are being followed.
We allowed the process to continue. Process is important. The state lived up to its responsibility to this child. It took the child into custody. All of the processes associated with the law has been followed. The process associated with the minister, too, he was presented with the allegations, he was placed on bail, he was taken into police custody, and he was placed on bail. We have to allow that to happen. The minister went on leave, so he's not in the job. That doesn't often happen in countries like ours.
The minister is currently on administrative leave after having requested as such in order to facilitate the investigations into the allegation of rape. The alleged victim is a 16-year-old who claimed that the incident occurred last year. The allegations first surfaced on social media. On Tuesday, investigators took the victim to the location of the alleged rape, where she reportedly detailed what transpired to them. Reports indicated that the minister was waiting outside while this transpired. There were also reports of the victim being denied counsel. But the police force in a statement explained that all standard operating procedures were followed during the conduct of the probe, and that at no time whatsoever were any of the minors involved questioned in the absence of a parent or welfare officer. Moreover, the police force said that at the time the virtual complainant walked investigators through the alleged crime scene, the accused was not present since he had already left. Additionally, the force said at no time did the virtual complainant or her parents make a request to the police for an attorney to be present. In fact, the organization said at all times the alleged victim and her parents were in the presence and hearing of a child care officer. Pooja Rambrand for the Evening News.
Meanwhile, the Partnership for National Unity opposition is calling for the Office of Professional Responsibility to conduct an investigation into the police handling of the rape allegations made against a government minister by a 16-year-old girl. Here is more.
Calls have been mounting for actions against Region 2 Commander Kemraj Shivbaran for attempting to pervert the course of justice. This was following the circulation of a statement that was taken by him in which a 16-year-old alleged rape victim denied sharing any information with opposition member Ganesh Mahipal about the alleged sexual assault committed by Minister DHARAMLALL. But the police commander has already denied any wrongdoing in his handling of the matter, telling a local newspaper that the family went to him only to refute the MP's claims and not to report the rape allegations. Therefore, he could not have launched a probe into the matter. However, the APNU opposition has called for an investigation into Commander Shivbaran's actions at its weekly press conference on Thursday.
The allegations of rape against the Minister of Local Government have moved to the level of the police. The purported settlement agreement in the form of a quasi-non-disclosure agreement, NDA, should be the subject of an investigation. Specifically, all involved should be investigated for the possible obstruction of justice. Importantly, the Office of Professional Responsibility should immediately commence an investigation into the actions of the regional commander, Mr. Kemraj Shivbaran.
According to the opposition, there have been several procedural breaches during this investigation. They pointed to the removal of the acting head of Child Care and Protection Agency, Tiona October, from this case. She has been replaced by her deputy, Assistant Director, Levine Gavaya. The opposition further expressed dismay at reports that the victim is being denied her constitutional right to legal representation, something which the police has since denied. Meanwhile, the opposition party is calling for good governance and justice to prevail in this matter, demanding that DHARAMLALL be removed from public office immediately.
By virtue of these allegations, The minister is not fit for public office in any capacity and must immediately resign or be removed from government and parliament.
I have faith in the justice system at the level of the bench that justice will prevail, albeit that there has been obvious hiccups in the investigative process. Justice must not only be done, it must appear or be seen to be done. We are already on record calling for OPR to do whatever is necessary to investigate the actions, the highly irregular actions of this officer.
Meanwhile, Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdeo has already declared government and the People's Progressive Party civics intolerance for abuse of women and children and urged against politicizing the issue.
After the number of votes between contesting candidates in 2 different constituencies of 2 neighborhood democratic councils were tied, an exercise was held today to resolve the deadlock. Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that in both instances, the candidates representing the People's Progressive Party was declared the winner of their respective constituency. Here's more.
The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, had explained that after the ascertainment and declaration of election results by returning officers, there were ties at the constituency level in 2 areas, namely Seafield Tempe, Constituency 4, and Platanka Cotbrot, Constituency 4. In order to resolve these ties, the respective returning officers were required to draw lots in the presence of a magistrate. This was done on Thursday at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court, where Ramdat Betu of the People's Progressive Party emerged victorious for the Seafield Tempe Constituency 4. Betu was tied with Milton Christopher Cummins of APNO for that constituency. They both received 27 votes.
The process is as follows. The returning officer, seated before me, will, using a bag, will demonstrate the bag to all persons present, which she will then, and she will also have the names of each of the candidates, what we call the lots, which will then be placed in the bag shaken up. The returning officer will take a name from that bag, and that person will be declared the winner of that constituency.
I'm satisfied when I put my hands on the floor. That Betu was now elected as the candidate for Party 24 in the local authority area of Seafield Tempe.
Meanwhile, in Constituency 4 in the Platanka Cotbrot NDC, there was also a tie with Deodan Ramdat, who represented APNO, and Odish Tambourine, who was the candidate for the PPPC, each getting 23 votes. Again, the PPP candidate won the tie-break.
Oh, I have to shake more? Turn it over.
Oh.
What's the name? Read the name. You have to read.
Odish Tambourine.
So
Odish Tambourine will be the candidate constituency. So he will be the. I feel real good today, this afternoon, to represent my people and to represent the people who live it right.
You seem represent your people. What about the persons who would have, those residents who would have been supporting the other candidates?
Yes, very well. I will represent the whole entire constituency, which part I represent Phoenix Cottage.
my intention to use this time goes by, we're going to see what could be best to serve the community and the people.
Following the awarding of the constituency seats to the PPPC and the Seafield Tempe NDC, the PPP now has 7 seats and APNO 8 on that council. Meanwhile, with the seat going to the PPPC and the Platanka Cotbrot NDC, both the PPPC and APNO each has 4 seats on the council. If after 2 sittings they elect a chairperson for the NDC and the councillors are at a deadlock, the minister will appoint a chairperson. Andrew Carmichael, the evening news.
Coming up, cops charged with forgery, theft after shortchanging colleagues of cash incentives, and NIS pension to now be paid first working day of every month. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Fuck off. The Oreos belong to us. No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
If you want real energy, just sing on if you got on too. Good source of iron for me and for you. Make you feel like say you have energy for two. When you make a man flex with you and your cool work late or left the gym after two. Vigatan tonic a the remedy for some man for sue. So sing on if you got on too. Vigatan. From your new energy you a defend. Just send on if you got on 10. Strong up your body, drink and come again. Vigatan 2 are the remedy, my friend.
Vigatan 2, good source of vitamin and iron for you.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Sally's Boutique is the place to shop when looking for quality high-end men and women footwear, wristwear, wallets, and clothing. Follow us on Instagram, Sally's Boutique GY. We're located at Charlotte Street between Camp and Welton Streets. Contact us on 231-7519. That's 231-7519. WhatsApp 613-9578. That's 613-9578. Sally's Boutique, the new home of Clarks.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles.
Look out! The Oreos belong to us. No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
American-made JAGDEO pressure washers from Sylvie's Variety Store gives you the power you need to blast away dirt and grime. Providing the perfect cleaning power for any tough jobs around the house or business. From 2,500 to 4,000 PSI. So get the JAGDEO pressure washer today with all the parts and accessories available from Sylvie's Variety Store.
If you want real energy, just send on if you got on two. Good source of iron for me and for you. Make you feel like say you have energy for two. When you make a man flex with you and your cool work late, I left the gym after two. Vigatan tonic at the remedy for some man for sue. So send on if you got on two. Vigatan. From your new energy you are defend. Just send on if you got on 10. Strong up your body, drink and come again. Vigatan 2 are the remedy, my friend.
Vigatan 2, good source of vitamin and iron.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Sally's Boutique is the place to shop when looking for quality high-end men and women footwear, wristwear, wallets, and clothing. Follow us on Instagram, Sally's Boutique GY. We're located at Charlotte Street between Camp and Welton Streets. Contact us on 231-7519. That's 231-7519. WhatsApp 613-9578. That's 613-9578. Sally's Boutique, the new home of Clarks.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. President Dr. Irfan Ali has said that his government is looking to enhance education throughout the varying levels to fit into the dynamic and changing nature of the country. As such, he said the government is exploring the option of making Spanish a compulsory subject in the school system. Tasia Dickinson tells us more.
During the commissioning ceremony of the Good Hope Secondary School on Wednesday, President Dr. Irfan Ali pointed to the need to augment the learning capacity of Guyanese students. He said that the government is aware of the trajectory of the country, the needs of its education system, and the demands of the future. He highlighted that although Guyana is part of the Caribbean by culture and design, the country is also geographically part of South America, which contains 9 Spanish-speaking countries.
It is time we consider seriously making Spanish at least compulsory in our school system. Because of where we are located, we are part of the Caribbean by culture and design, but we are also in South America. And we now have to move to seriously consider making Spanish a compulsory language in our school system, because it is vitally important for the young people coming up in this country and in this region. You also are giving yourself less chance at international jobs if you don't have a second language. You're reducing your competitiveness. And I intend to have full discussion on this, but the direction I believe that we should move in now is to ensure that Spanish is compulsory in our school system because it is needed in the geographic space that we occupy.
In addition, the President spoke of the enhanced nature of modern schools with the ability to have indoor sports, such as table tennis and badminton, and about facilitating training programs after school hours.
We want to use these facilities optimally. So we are going to work with the management of these schools to see how we can create state-of-the-art classroom, at least one state-of-the-art classroom that can be connected to all the global network that we are on to have these learning programs done right here in the secondary school in the evenings when the children are not there.
Learning, he explained, must not be one-dimensional and systems must be in place to prepare the next generation for a multiplicity of careers. Tasia Dickinson, The Evening News.
In a move that could benefit some 800 students, the multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art Good Hope Secondary School on the east coast of Demerara has been commissioned. Here is Tasia Dickinson again with the details.
The new US $5.1 million Good Hope Secondary School located on the east coast of Demerara was officially commissioned on Wednesday. This will allow some 800 students who will be housed at the facility to receive access to a high-quality education. It will also allow the Education Ministry to close all the primary tops along the East Coast. These tops include those at Paradise, Enterprise, and Enmore primary schools. It will also reduce overcrowding at the Cummings Lodge, Bladen Hall, Golden Grove, and Pleasant secondary schools. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Education Minister Priyamanik Chand highlighted that the ministry's aim is to ensure every child across the country gets into a secondary school.
With the completion of Good Hope, the east coast of Demerara has achieved universal secondary education. We're going to close out the 6 primary tops that currently exist here, and the children are going to be able to come to a discrete secondary school. Discrete is a term of art. It means a secondary school that caters for secondary education with labs and trained teachers and classrooms that are outfitted for secondary-aged children.
She also noted that every time the government fails to open a school, it has a negative impact on children, and she expressed frustration with the delayed completion of these projects.
Every time we fail to put down a school, 2 things happen. Children can't get educated at any proper quality, and children drop out. So she told you, just under 1,000 children were unable to get to secondary school right here on the East Coast, and they were going to primary tops. And when we said in 2014 that we wanted to close all the primary tops, and we would do that by building Good Hope, in 2018 we had to open primary tops on the east coast of Demerara, and that is poor governance. That is failing the people of the East Coast. That is failing the children who will grow up and take over this country.
Delivering the feature address, President Dr. Irfan Ali highlighted the importance of eradicating the issue of dropouts from the school system. Further, he shared that the government is expending over US $100 million on a technical training center so as to meet the needs of persons who are interested in that field.
We have to now look at where that gap is and to see how we now can catapult our system to take the interests of students into consideration and then stream them off to what they're interested in. That is why in these schools there's a major investment in the technical education component, and we are building out a technical education platform throughout the country, in every single region. We're spending more than $100 million on a national skill training center that will train young people, that will train the future of Guyana in the areas that are critical for our development.
The contract to construct the Good Hope Secondary School was first awarded in 2018 to BK International. Work commenced in October of that year, with the original completion date being January 14, 2020. However, despite many extensions, the construction company was unable to deliver, and as such, a new contract was signed with Dean Plus Partners in December 2022 under the Secondary Education Improvement Project, which is being funded by the World Bank. Tassia Dickinson, The Evening News.
After close to 2 years of work, the new $585 million Abram Zul Secondary School in Region 2 was officially commissioned today. Find out more in this Pooja Rambaran report.
The new $585 million Abram Zul Secondary School in Region 2 includes 27 classrooms, 7 of which have interactive boards and computers, administrative offices, 3 science labs, an information technology lab, a multipurpose hall, a staff room, a medical room, and a learning resource center. The school will accommodate 810 students. In time to come, the facility will also be equipped with an elevator to aid students with physical disabilities. According to Education Minister Priya Manik-Chan, this new school is part of a continuous effort by the government to provide a high-quality level of education across the country.
This is our commitment to you, that whichever of the 8 schools you go to here on the Essequibo Coast, we are going to deliver the same high quality of education. But we can make education equal. We can make sure that all the services in those schools, the libraries, the labs, the trained teachers, the textbooks, the lab equipment, the chemicals, the sewing machine, the TVET equipment, we could make sure it is in every school and that every school performs and gets the same quality of education delivered to each child.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Irfan Ali commended the work of all stakeholders in developing this new facility and noted the importance of providing better services and delivering better outcomes to the people of Ghana. He added that based on a recently conducted condition survey of every education facility in Guyana, an estimated cost of $11 billion is required to bring them to a minimum standard, an investment that the government is making efforts to work on.
We have decided that notwithstanding the tremendous resources that we already have in the budget this year, we're going to go for supplementary provision so that we can start an acceleration of this $11 billion investment. So you will see that in our next supplementary provision, we're going to go to have a chunk of these resources ready to support this investment of $11 billion across the country. And then we have already decided that we're going to projectize this investment in a multi-year, multi-program agenda for education so that we can accelerate this investment and bring all our facilities to a minimum standard.
The President added that the government is on a trajectory not only to build new physical facilities, but to build an entire ecosystem surrounding the education system that is supportive of the holistic development of children across Guyana. Pooja Rambaran for the Evening News.
Construction of a new 4-lane bridge spanning the Demerara River and connecting Wismar to Mackenzie in Region 10 will commence before the end of the year. Rupasina Ryan has the details.
Having received 3 offers which were deemed competitive, government is ready to get the ball rolling on the 4-lane bridge at Wismar, Linden. This project is estimated to cost about $35 million. Once completed, the structure will serve as an important linkage in the township.
We're at the stage where we're ready to start the negotiations. We have had 3 offers, and when the details emerge, you will see that the offer that we have received is very, very competitive. It's to do a 4-lane bridge across the river for a cost of about $35 million. There was a previous study that showed a 2-lane bridge there across the river with a higher sum, higher than the 35 million. The estimates were higher. So this is a very competitive bid.
According to JAGDEO, one of the bids were from the same company building the new Demerara Harbor Bridge, China Railway and Construction Corporation Limited. The same team which negotiated this contract will engage the company to finalize the Wismar Bridge project.
This is with the same company that is building the bridge across the Demerara River here in Georgetown. The same team that negotiated that arrangement, we've asked the Minister of Finance to put together back the team, and that team was made up of Mr. Gaskin, Tenny Hoosty, the Financial Secretary, and Honorable Bert Smith. We anticipate that before the end of this year, construction of the 4-lane bridge, a concrete structure across the river at Wismar, will start.
Earlier this month, government signed a historic $150 million loan with the Saudi Fund for Development, which will finance a number of transformational infrastructural projects in the country. One of the projects financed under this funding will be the much-anticipated Wismar Bridge. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Woman Police Corporal Felicia Lewis and Special Corporal Kelroy Doris, both of whom were stationed at the Guyana Police Force's Mounted Branch in the Finance Department, were yesterday charged by the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCU, with several counts of larceny by public officer and of forgery. They both appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Acting Chief Magistrate Sherdal Isaacs Marcus, where the indictable charges were read to them and they were not required to plea. Specifically, Doris has been charged with 5 counts of larceny by public officer and 1 count of forgery, while Lewis has been charged with 3 counts of forgery and 1 count of larceny by public officer. Doris has been placed on $120,000 bail, while Lewis has been placed on $80,000 bail, and the matters have been adjourned to July 14, 2023 for statements. The facts are that during the month of December 2022, the police force paid out incentives to several ranks for outstanding performances, including some ranks of the police mounted branch. During the month of February 2023, several ranks of the mounted branch and K9 sections reported that they were made to sign musketry and incentive pay sheets for December 2022 by Woman Corporal Lewis and Special Corporal Doris. The amount of money they were made to sign for on the pay sheets were hidden from them, and it was later revealed that they were given less money than the sums which were allocated for them by the police force. In instances, some ranks claimed that they did not sign the said pay sheets. As a result, several ranks did not receive the correct amounts that were awarded to them. The matter was reported to SOCU and an investigation was launched into the said matter. The investigation revealed that Special Corporal Doris and Woman Corporal Lewis short-paid several ranks of the mounted branch and K9 section, and on some occasions they forged the signatures of several ranks on the said musketry and incentive pay sheet and converted the money to their own use. We now tell you that the Finance Ministry has announced that starting in July, National Insurance Scheme pension payments will now be paid from the first working day of every month to align with old age pension payments. This move has been taken by the Guyana government in keeping with a commitment made by President Dr. Irfan Ali during an interaction with a pensioner on Tuesday in Lamaha Gardens, Georgetown. Consequently, Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, disclosed that he has instructed that the NIS pension be paid effective July 2023 on the first business day of every month. Currently, NIS payments are made via the Guyana Post Office Corporation, commercial banks, and at NIS local offices countrywide. Other payment options are currently being considered by government. The government recently expanded the payment options for old age pension to include Mobile Money Guyana. This adds to the existing options of the Post Office, MoneyGram, Western Union, ShorePay, and commercial banks. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, June 23rd at 4:15 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, June 23rd at 6:50 hours for a period of 1.5 hours.
West Indies beats Nepal after Hope and Puran record centuries, and chases Foundation ready to take rightful place in Digicel tournament. Details of these stories in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Look out! The Oreos belong to us. No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
If you want real energy, just send on if you got on two. Good source of iron for me and for you. Make you feel like say you have energy for two. When you make a man flex with you and your cool work late, I left the gym after two. Vigatan tonic the remedy for some man for sue. So send on if you got on two. Vigatan. From your new energy you are defend. Just send on if you got on 10. Strong up your body, drink and come again. Vigatan 2 are the remedy, my friend.
Vigatan 2, good source of vitamin and iron for you.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Sally's Boutique is the place to shop when looking for quality high-end men and women footwear, wristwear, wallets, and clothing. Follow us on Instagram, Sally's Boutique GY. We're located at Charlotte Street between Camp and Wellington Streets. Contact us on 231-7519. That's 231-7519. WhatsApp 613-9578. That's 613-9578. Sally's Boutique, the